You're watching SLU-TV, St. Louis University, Channel 22. Now, Brent Carney, Courtney Brown, Cathy Kelley, health reporter John Castelli, lead forecaster Ashley Colgin, and sports director Clayton Bury. This is SLU News 22.
Good evening, SLU. I'm Courtney Brown.
And I'm Maggie Szewczyk, filling in for Brent Carney.
Hi, Maggie. Welcome to the studio. As you see, Maggie is a new anchor tonight, filling in. Now that everybody's back, we hope you all had a great Easter.
Our top story tonight is Atlas Week. Global issues highlight this year's Atlas Week. The annual event's theme is political, social, and justice in the global world. Nobel Prize-winning human rights activist Sharee Brown is the keynote speaker for this week. A native of Iran, Abadi received the award in 2003 for her contributions to the establishment of democracy and improved human rights conditions for women and children. This will be the fourth consecutive year that a Nobel Prize winner has spoken during Atlas Week. The week will also feature a parade of nations and several presentations and discussions concerning global issues. Abadi speaks at 5 p.m. at the BSC. For a complete rundown of this week's schedule, visit their website at atlas.slu.edu.
Even with most of the student body enjoying Easter at home, SLU still did it big. More than 2,000 participants signed up for SLU's annual Easter egg hunt. The event started as a way to draw alumni back to campus and has grown since its beginning in 2001. This year, more than 9,000 eggs were scattered around campus with over 25,000 pieces of candy and toys. So, if you're running low on flex points, which most of you probably are since it's close to the end of the semester, and you find yourself scrambling for a snack, try peeking under a bush around campus, because you'll never know what you might find.
And speaking of never knowing what you're going to find, we've got Kelly Halber here in the studio with us, telling us what we can expect in weather tonight and for the rest of this week.
It is dreary out. I hope it's not here to stay.
Well, you know, Courtney, I saw those kids running around campus, and they were wearing gloves and pants, and I mean, it is unusually cold this time for this time of year. We've actually had below average temperatures. As you can see, the average high for April 6th through 8th is actually 63, 64 degrees. Our recorded high was 27 degrees off of that on April 6th and 7th, and 14 degrees off that April 8th. You can see our average low was actually higher than the recorded high we had those couple days, with a 7-degree difference. The recorded low, those on April 6th and April 7th, at 29 and 23 degrees. April 7th, 23 degrees was actually a record for the St. Louis area. This has affected a lot of the crops in the area. I know Eckert's Farm has lost most of their crops for the season with this below average temperatures, but they are going to stabilize over the next few days. If you look at our radar right now, we can see this the big story right now is that the system is moving through our area and making its way towards the St. Louis area. Stay tuned for more on that rainfall tonight. And as we look at the temperatures across the area, we're stabilizing in the 40s tonight, which is right around our average lows. And the storms that will go through tonight won't affect us too much in terms of temperatures. 45 degrees tonight at Lambert Airport with showers in the area. The wind from the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And a sunset at 7:33 p.m. Stay tuned for the rest of the forecast with Ashley and Ruth in the Weather Center.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about with sunset. There's really no sun out to set. Stick around. We'll be back with health.
Welcome back, SLU. Now, Courtney, I don't know about you, but there's been a lot of empty seats lately in some of my classes. I don't know if it's senioritis or maybe something more serious.
Well, you know, I've been noticing that too, Maggie, now that you mention it, and it could be senioritis. I mean, I, for one, know how that goes. Or it could be something more serious like the flu, which our health reporter, John Castelli, is here to talk with us about tonight. Yep. But first tonight, John, I hear you're going to be talking about some changes in the life expectancy statistics.
That's right, Courtney. The gap between life expectancies for African Americans and Caucasians narrows, but is still significant. Life expectancy for blacks has always been lower than that for whites, since records included ethnicity. A recent study analyzing mortality data cited advancements in preventing HIV, homicide, unintentional injuries, and female heart disease as reasons for the improvement. Current factors threatening the close of this gap include bloodstream infection, HIV, and kidney disease. And if you thought the flu season was over, you may want to keep that stock of tissues that you have. We are in spring, but the influenza season can stick around as late as May. And one SLU researcher getting a lot of attention lately is Dr. Robert Belshi, an infectious disease specialist who is working to make flu vaccines that can keep up with the trends in these viruses. In a typical flu season, there are between 40 to 50,000 U.S. deaths due to the disease. But a look back at the 20th century reveals that in 1918, 1957, and 1968, influenza reached pandemic levels in which people the world over were infected in enormous proportions. And all three were caused by an avian strain.
Bird flu is really not new in birds. It's been around for a long, long time. And it's been a problem in domesticated birds for a long time.
The current threat, dubbed H5N1, comes primarily from Asia, where reports indicate a 50% mortality rate for those hospitalized with the avian flu. Others with more minor symptoms probably live not knowing they have it. What makes the influenza virus unique, says Director of SLU Center for Vaccine Development, Dr. Robert Belshi, is its ability to evolve rapidly, potentially allowing the H5N1 strain to spread easily among humans.
The viral, in this case RNA, of influenza is in little pieces. And if by chance alone we're infected by a bird virus and a human virus simultaneously, those genetic segments can get mixed up, and that leads to the emergence of a new strain of influenza. Recent data from the 1918 virus reveals that all of the genetic segments were from the bird virus. And so it appears that it adapted to man and caused disease without going through this step of exchanging genetic material. And that's particularly alarming.
If the avian flu does come to the U.S., it most likely would be due to bird import commerce, but the USDA keeps strict guidelines to keep the public safe. So it was a real privilege to get to actually visit Dr. Belchi's lab. He's doing a lot of really interesting things there.
Yeah, it sounded really interesting. Now, we're not quite out of the woods as far as flu season goes. Do you have any suggestions as to how to prevent getting the flu?
Yeah, well, as always, hand washing is very important. Make sure that, of course, when you're touching surfaces, obviously there's a lot of bacteria on everything. So, yeah, just good hand washing practices, and also make sure you cover your mouth when you sneeze, that kind of stuff. Sneeze into a tissue instead of onto your hands, kind of thing. Most of the virus is spread through nasal droplets, and so try to keep that under wraps.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Coming up next is weather with Ashley Colgin, so stick around.
Thanks for joining us. With us now is Ashley Colgin and Ruth Naumanson with this week's forecast.
Now, Ashley, I've noticed some showers moving into the area. Is there any chance of severe weather coming with those, or are we okay?
Courtney, for tonight, we are okay. We are not going to see severe thunderstorms, but we will be seeing some heavy showers later on tonight. And this is all due to some moisture that will be building in our area overnight tonight. Today we did see a high of 54, which is still below our normals, and our low is at 44, which has brought us up from the below temperatures that Kelly was talking about earlier with those freezing temperatures. So tonight we're not going to see any freezing. Currently at Lambert, we are at 52 degrees, light showers, and our humidity is at 60%, which will be rising overnight, and our pressure is at 29. And right now we're looking at our satellite view, and this is the shower maker right now, and the low pressure system is located about the Kansas-Nebraska area. But look at this other system down here in the Gulf. It is causing lots of showers along the Gulf Coast, but they are connecting all the way up the Great Plains into North Dakota. And as we zoom into the St. Louis area, we can see all these showers associated, and we're right along that shower line, and it's just going to move right into our area. There's actually some heavier showers here in Rolla that will just move right up into St. Louis. And this is all due to a strong upper level jet coming out of the Pacific, moving all the way down into Kansas. And this is bringing lots of energy for our area and moisture, causing those showers. And right now, we're looking at our lows, and we can see it sitting up here, and it's actually causing lots of heavy snow up here in the northern Great Plains. And as that warm front moves on by, our showers will end by the morning. That was a look at our current weather. Now Ruth Nominson will have a look at our forecast. Thanks, Ashley. Now we can see this area of low pressure that is over northern Missouri will be moving through, bringing us a lot of precipitation tonight. But we can see behind this in the west, we will be seeing some clear skies as this area of high pressure moves in. But we also have another chance for some storms later this week with a new system that's forming in the Pacific. We see all this precipitation associated with this storm, up to an inch in some areas around St. Louis. And we see for Thursday, high pressure builds in, which will bring our temperatures up a little bit, give us clear skies. But another system is developing over in the Pacific, which will be bringing us some severe weather later this week. We see thunderstorms will be likely for Thursday night and Friday. We have this fast-moving system moving in from the Pacific. Moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and that warm air will enhance our chance for thunderstorms, and some severe weather will be possible around in areas south of St. Louis. But for tonight, we'll have a low of 45 degrees, showers throughout the area. Our winds will be out of the south between 10 and 15 miles an hour. And for our 5-day forecast, for Wednesday, we'll have showers in the morning ending by noon. We'll have mostly cloudy skies the rest of the day with a high of 58. For Thursday, we'll have partly cloudy skies, a high of 55. Friday, thunderstorms will be likely with a high of 58. Saturday, we will have showers in the morning with a high of 55, and Sunday will clear back out with a high of 58. So we just have to watch out for those storms later this week.
Sounds like it, definitely. Well, stick around, because coming up next, we're going to have our sports reporter, Clayton Bury, here with us. So Cardinals fans, you definitely want to stand by.